Welcome back to Shabita e-learning. The last lesson you had stopped on joints of the upper extremities and you had classified them as sternoclavicular, which is divided into synovial saddle, diatherosis, then acromyoclavicular, which is divided into synovial planes, diatherosis, glenohumeral joints, synovial ball and socket, diatherosis, many ligaments, muscle reinforcement, and bit mobility. Let's continue with position now. Now we look at the sternoclavicular joints. These are bony structures. What diatheroreaxia. So look at the intervertebral ligament here. Look at the sternum. Look at the sternoclavicular ligament, which joins the ligament to the sternum. Costoclavicular ligament, and then the clavicle, the cartilage of the first rib, articular disc. So we look at now the sternoclavicular joint. These are for motions. We look at the diagram below shows this bone, rotation, posterior rotation, and then retraction, depression down, and then elevation, and then protraction. The front plane, and then we have the sagittal plane, post rot. You look at the horizontal plane. This is the posterior, and post axis, and then the vertical axis. So those are the main planes and the axis of the sternoclavicular joints for motion. And then look now at the acromyoclavicular joint, bony structure, poor diatherodonoxal. So here we look at the diagram below, clavicle, and then look at coracolavicular ligament, coracoid process, and then the scapula, and then the acromion clavicular ligament as illustrated. The diagram below still continues to show us the scapula, and then the ligaments, and then the biceps and tendons, as we tend to look at the acromyoclavicular joint, coraconominal ligament, acromion, look at the scapula, articular capsule, coracoid process, and then the clavicle, that is form of a ligament that attaches tendons to bones for articulation. Look at the blood supply to this scapula. Look at the anterior view. We look at it, you analyze the diagram as you look on. So number 1, number 2, number 3 indicate first and second, third part of the axillary artery that supplies blood to the scapula, ligaments, and the bones. There are very many parts that you need to really analyze as you move on. Joints of the upper extremity. We have got the elbow joint. It's divided. Elbow joint is divided into synovial hinge, diatherosis, and then articulations, humerus and ulnar, humerus and radius, and then the many ligaments. So these are the joints of the upper extremities: the elbow joint, articulations, and many ligaments. Elbow structure. We have the coronoid fossa, radial fossa, lateral epicondyle, the trochlear, capitulum, coronoid process, medial epicondyle. This is the anterior view, and then the elbow ligaments, anterior view of the elbow joint. I hope you are seeing it very well. You have the humerus up, medial epicondyle, insertion of bacillus, radius, biceps, and so on. So the lateral or radial collateral resists various stresses because Varus stresses are rare. Support from this ligament is less significant, whereas the ulnar collateral is taut and all joints in position. Valgus support very important in most forces are directed medially, creating valgus force. Diagram shows radio-ulnar joints, spination, this figure here, spination, and then pronation when the hand is twisted the other side. So and compare with this diagram, F3 the flexor, then that this is the, we look at the extensor, we look at flexor and rotation. Depending, pronator tear activates the rapid movement of organic large slot, and then pronator liquid always active, and then biceps major active in rapid movements or against large loads. Joints of the upper extremities, continuation. Proximal radio-ulnar joint, this is going to synovial pivot, diaphosis. This the distal radio-ulnar joint, synovial pivot, diaphosis, allows pronation and spination of the forearm. Look at the joints of the upper extremities. Those are phalanges, like the thumb, index finger, middle finger, ring finger, and look at the little finger. So these are radiocarpal joints, synovial condyle, distal radius with proximal row of carpals, intercarpal joints, synovial plane, carpal metacarpal 2 to 5, synovial plane, trapezial metacarpal 1, synovial saddle, metacarpal phalangeal, synovial condyle, interphalangeal, synovial hinge, all the arthrosis. Now look at the wrist. The wrist, we have got the radiocarpal joint, which is here, this one, distal radio joint, and then look at wrist radiocarpal joints, condyle joint. Ulna makes no contact with metacarpals, but floats on the disc, so it does not influence wrist movement during spination and phalanges. Whereas radiocarpal, it is just articulation between the scaphoid and radius. So the scaphoid may be one of the most important carpal because it supports the weight of the arm and transmits the forces between the hand and the forearm. Mid-cap joints, flexation is between 70 and 90 degrees, and then extension 70 to 80 degrees, and knee 30 degrees. Feel free to subscribe. Thanks for watching. More videos are coming up on continuation of these joints, as we really love you so much. And please turn on the notification bells and subscribe if you are new. Share in different groups if the video has been interesting. Comment where possible. We really love to hear from you, our community. Thanks for loving us. Stay blessed.